everybody, and welcome to another episode of SportsLine. I'm Cody Barr, and alongside of me is Bethany Lowe.
We have a great show planned full of real LaSalle sports, news, previews, and highlights.
So let's get started with some game recaps. Bethany?
On the 19th of October, the men's cross-country team competed in the Princeton Invitational. Out of the 30 teams racing, the Explorers placed second with 94 points behind Villanova. Remarkably, 5 Explorers scored within the top 30 of 272 runners. Finishing first for the Explorers and 13th overall was Nico Greco, who received a time of 24 minutes and 13 seconds for the 8K. The top 5 for the Explorers was rounded out with Zach Sullivan, Nick Ross, Vince Perozzi, and Ian Barnhill.
The women's team also competed in the Princeton Invitational. Out of the 25 teams that raced, the Explorers captured third place with 144 points. 4 of the Explorers finished within the top 50 out of a field of 206 runners. With a time of 21 minutes and 58 seconds for the 6K, Michelle Capozzi finished first for the Explorers and 7th overall. Anna Reyes, Molly Mickle, Taylor Hackett, and Kaylee McNally were the other runners for the blue and gold that finished in the top 4.
The golf team ended their fall season this past week. The team shot a 300 at the Barnabas Health Seton Hall Intercollegiate. Their score enabled them to place 5th in the competitive 15-team competition. Leading the team was senior Mike Johnson and junior Greg Goodrids, who tied for 8th place. The Explorers will return to the links in early March at the Davidson Invitational.
The women's soccer team overcame a 2-goal deficit to tie the VCU Rams 2-2 on Sunday, October 13th. The Explorers were down by 2 goals at the halftime, but LaSalle junior Kelsey Haycock netted 2 goals in the second half to tie the game for the Explorers. Both teams had opportunities to score in extra time, but both failed to capitalize, resulting in the tie. Sophomore Jessica Wiggins recorded 3 saves for the Explorers, while the offensive side outshot the Rams by more than 8 shots.
Less than a week later, the team returned home to take on St. Joe's. Check out the footage from when I went to the game.
On Friday, October 18th at McCarthy Stadium. The game remained scoreless for most of the first half until Anna Dolhansky scored off of Kelsey Haycock's assist in the 39th minute. 30 seconds later, Haycock connected again with Dolhansky to put the Explorers up 2-0 to end the half. The second half was all Explorers. Kelsey Haycock would lead the charge against the helpless Hawks, earning herself a hat trick by scoring 3 goals consecutively, all within 3.5 minutes of each other. This gives her 13 goals on the season and gives her 38 career goals, only 2 short of the school record of 40. LaSalle scored their final goal later as freshman Deja Davis booted an assist from Dolhansky from 30 yards out to make her first goal in her college career.
Over fall break, men's soccer stayed on campus to take on the St. Bonaventure Bonnies on October 13th. Despite a lack of fans in the stands, the Explorers made the important plays and came out with a win. After a scoreless first half, LaSalle capitalized on a cross from Jason Plumoff to Pat Sullivan in the 55th minute. St. Bonaventure countered 8 minutes later to tie up the score, and it wasn't until the 79th minute that Plumoff secured the win with a shot to the post with a one-man advantage. The Explorers held on for the rest of the game with a solid performance from McCarthy in goal.
Then on Friday, October 18th, the Explorers continued their win streak at home with an impressive victory over rival St. Joe's. We had our SportsLine team head over to McCarthy Stadium to cover the game. Check it out.
October 18th, following the women's soccer team's victory against St. Joe's, the men took the field against the Hawks. During the first half, the Explorers tallied 7 shots to St. Joe's 5. The half was evenly matched as goalkeepers for each team each conjured 2 saves. It wasn't until the second half that the Explorers gained momentum and got on board. This doesn't come as a surprise to fans, as LaSalle has only scored 4 of their 22 goals this season during the first 45 minutes of play. In the 55th minute, junior forward Rob Frisky scored his 3rd goal of the season. Sophomore Joe Farrell and senior captain Jason Plumoff were credited with the assist. Less than 10 minutes later, Frisky returned the favor and assisted LaSalle's 2nd and final goal of the game. Jason Plumoff recorded the goal, his 7th of the season and 3rd in as many games. Senior John McCarthy tallied 2 more saves in the half to help secure LaSalle's 3rd straight A-10 conference victory.
I think the biggest thing we did was we stayed composed. We thought we had a good first half, but we didn't have any goals from it. And sometimes, we'll maybe possibly panic in that situation, but we stayed composed, stayed organized, continued to do what we did, and got the goal. So that part was great.
The Explorers are currently ranked first in the A10 and will face VCU, who ranked second, on Friday.
Well, a huge win for us. Right now we're in first in the A10, and we went into the game in first. We want to come out of the game in first, and the more, winning your games at home is so important. So 3 points at home, staying in first place through the weekend was great. Yeah, well, VCU is excellent. They're a great team. They're a possession team. They play a great style, really try and keep the ball. So we just have to manage it the best we can. Get our chances, finish our chances when we get them, and try and really frustrate their passing patterns.
The women's volleyball team headed down to Washington, D.C. on Friday, October 11th to visit the Colonials of George Washington University for their first road conference match. The Colonials made sure the Explorers knew that they were in foreign territory as they easily handled the blue and gold, winning in straight sets. LaSalle was never able to get a strong offensive attack going to counter the forceful striking of the Colonials. Leading the Explorers in kills, however, for the first time this season was Rachel Finkbeiner, who posted 7.
Saturday, October 12th, the Explorers met the George Mason Patriots, this time in Fairfax, Virginia, hoping to redeem themselves from the loss suffered a few weeks prior. The Explorers came out very strong, trying to snap their losing streak, but their efforts proved futile. They were unable to secure a victory after a promising first set, falling in straight sets to a very strong Patriot offense. The team played with force as a collective unit with individual stat leaders for the Explorers, including Kelly Perillo with 9 kills, Rachel Melich with 15 assists, and Erin Noga with 19 digs.
Exactly 1 week after their previous meeting, the volleyball squad took on the George Washington University Colonials, this time a meeting from the Tom Gola Arena. Hopes of getting back in the win column and exalting some revenge against the tough Colonial team were met with quite a challenge. The Explorers battled through 3 sets but were unable to stop a red-hot George Washington team who secured their 4th straight conference victory. The Explorers were never able to put together a strong run and put on many points on the board, with the team top offenders performers Jennifer Whelan and Phoebe Cook only posting 5 kills each, while other offensive standouts included Rachel Melich with 12 assists and Michelle Healy with 9 assists.
This past weekend, the field hockey team struggled to muster any momentum. On Friday the 18th, LaSalle traveled all the way to Massachusetts to take on the UMass Minutemen. UMass, who currently ranks 16th in the country, struck first. In the first 4 minutes, UMass led 2-0. The only LaSalle goal came in the 34th minute by way of an assist by Maddie Tettelbach to Olivia Shoemaker. From then on, the UMass offense dominated the game, and in the second half, they posted 5 goals and took the game with a score of 7-1.
The following Sunday, the Explorers returned to DeVincent Field for another conference game. The Bald Eagles of Lockhaven started off strong, scoring their first goal after only 2 minutes. LaSalle was kept at bay from then on. The Explorers lost their 3rd straight conference game with a score of 5-0. Goalie Lisa Schaefer had 7 saves on the game, as did rookie Rachel Hartman, who saw her first game time as a collegiate athlete.
The men's swim and dive team opened up its season at Drexel on Saturday, October 19th, falling to the Dragons by a score of 174-126. Sophomore Johan Roth highlighted the day for the Explorers with a first-place finish in the 100 and 200-yard breaststrokes. Freshman Matthias Glenisk won the 1,000-yard freestyle in his first collegiate meet, finishing over 20 seconds ahead of the second-place swimmer. The Explorers also had a strong showing in the 200-yard butterfly, claiming 3 of the top 4 times.
During the women's event, sophomore Kelsey Jenkinson placed first in the 200-yard breaststroke. Senior Greta Reichert posted the top time in the 1,000-yard freestyle, while sophomore Haley Miles finished in second. LaSalle also put together a good performance in the 200-yard butterfly, as junior Colleen Larkin and freshman Julia Mann registered the top 2 times. Despite these achievements, however, the Dragons of Drexel defeated the Explorers by a score of 171-128.
The swim and dive teams were right back at it again on October 23rd in their home opener. Check it out. The LaSalle swim and dive team welcomed the Villanova Wildcats to Kirk Pool on Wednesday, October 23rd for this season's home opener. After falling to Drexel on October 19th, Coach Matt Nunnally is proud of the improvement by both the men and women in this meet against the Wildcats.
We had a good first dual meet against Drexel, and I felt like we took a step forward in terms of our performance today, so I'm pleased with the teams.
The women were unable to pull out the win, but the men topped the Wildcats by 70 points. The men and women had standout performers.
Kelsey Jenkinson has done a really good job with the breaststroke events. Chelsea Curran in the backstroke did really well. Those were a couple of our event winners there. On the men's side, Johan Roth, he's really established himself here early in terms of the breaststroke events. And Cameron Fadley had a great swim in the 100 fly.
Moving on from a good meet, Coach Nunnally says the focus is on the Bucknell Invitational at the end of November. It's time for a quick break, but don't go away because Rohan Brown will be sitting down with John McCarthy, so stay tuned.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today, and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Welcome, my name is Rohan Brown, and welcome to another interview segment. I'm here with the John McCarthy. How are you today?
How you doing, Rohan? Nice to meet you, man.
So now your team is going into A-10s, you're 3-0. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels good. I mean, our first two games were at home. We picked up a big, huge 9 points actually, and it's not like going into the start of the season of the A-10 undefeated.
Now, in the beginning of the season, did you expect your team to be as successful as it is now?
Every year we have a lot of high hopes and high expectations. I mean, you have to. You're a team, so you have a lot of belief in each other. So we started out a little slower than we expected, but then we picked it up midway, right before the A-10s type, and then we're kind of just rolling right now, and it feels good.
Now, what was the most exciting game you've played yet this season?
I don't know. Probably, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, probably all three A-10 games. They were just big-time games. You really just have to amp yourself up if you're going through like a little tough at the start of the season, and then the A-10 is probably like one of the few ways you can get to the NCAA tournament. So we kind of were just amped up to get to the A-10 play, and it's been good for all three games so far.
Now, you individually have had a lot of honors this season. I've seen on the website you were top 10 goalkeepers coming in this season. How does it feel? How do you keep winning and keep your status?
I mean, to have that type of recognition, it feels good. I mean, it literally, like, I like running off a motto, like, hard work pays off. And, like, even though it's a small accolade, it definitely feels good. But accolades don't mean as much to me as, like, winning. And I'd rather get 0 accolades all year and just consistently win throughout the year and have team success. But accolades never hurt. All about the team. I like that. So when did you start playing soccer? When I was 3. When you were 3? When I was 3, yeah. Are you serious? Yeah, I wasn't the goalie when I was 3 years old, but I was just like, it was pretty funny. I looked like a goofball. I had these big glasses and like a mushroom cut. It was pretty entertaining probably to watch. But so when did you make the process into going into a goalkeeper? It was probably around when I was 8 years old. The goalie on our team was kind of like not the best, and everyone knew it on our team, and the coaches even said it. And then, I don't know, I just felt like trying it out, and then I guess I did all right, and the coaches stuck with it, and I just stuck with it. So it turned out all right for me. It's pretty cool. So did you play any other sports when you went into high school? I played basketball for a little bit. I tried out my freshman year, sophomore, junior, senior year, but I just wanted to see like what it was like at tryouts and stuff, but I never really played. I played in like 2 games my whole career, and then I also played high school football my senior year for like the last, yeah, it's pretty shocking, right? For like the last like 4 games of the season, just as kicker. They needed a kicker and a punter. Yeah. So I just did that. I had like a fat center doing it, and he wasn't that good. So I mean, I hope I did better than he did, I feel like, but it was just fun. It was the last year as a senior, so I really just wanted to enjoy it. Just to try something new. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. Yeah. What other schools were you looking at besides LaSalle? It was probably between like LaSalle, Seton Hall, and Rutgers and St. John's were like later on. There was a couple other schools, but I didn't really like go out to look at other schools. It if a school looked at me, then I looked at them. But if nobody really showed interest, then nobody showed interest. So it just came down to LaSalle, and I knew it was a good school, good business school. My dad went here, so he played here, and Farrell was here when he was here, so he knew all about it, and I showed interest in that, and kind of just took off with it.
So now, I know you've probably got this before. Is the stadium actually named after you?
No, it's not named after me. I've gotten that a lot. I joke with people a lot, just walking around. They're like, "Yo, it's McCarthy Stadium. Is it named after you?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Like, I came to school, they named it after me right away." But nah, it's not named after me. But it'd be pretty cool to just like joke around with people like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So, trying to get a little personal. Answer wisely, please. What's your favorite Disney movie?
I have to go with either The Lion King or The Fox and the Hound.
Fox and the Hound.
Fox and the Hound.
No one has said that yet.
Fox and the Hound. I love the Fox.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
So, do you have any hobbies?
Not really. I mean, anytime I get, I like, I guess, messing around with the boys, just playing video games or something like FIFA, 2K, anything you really can play. I mean, if not, I'm kind of just playing soccer, really.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you played GTA 5 yet?
I have played it a couple of times. It's a really good game.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's a good game, man.
So, do you have any routines before you play?
Kinda. I mean, but not like before I play, but right before the whistle starts, touch one post, shuffle cross, touch the other post, and then if I have time before the whistle blows, I say a quick little prayer, and then head out to, like, as soon as the whistle blows, I'm right there, ready to go.
All right.
So.
Any music you listen to?
I used to listen to music all the time before games, and I just kind of was like, there's no like certain songs I like, so when music's playing, if someone plays it in the locker room or if someone plays it before the game or something, I'll listen to it. So I'm not just like, oh, I have to listen to this song, so I don't get like freaked out by not having the same ritual over and over again.
Right.
So I kind of just go with the flow, and like if I don't listen to music, I don't, and I can just like get in the zone on my own, just get my mental mindset.
All right. So out of all your family members, who would you say is your biggest fan?
My dad. My dad's biggest fan by far. We've been on some crazy trips when I was younger. Like in one weekend, we'd be taking like 600-mile like trips in a weekend, like just to go to 2 practices and like up and back to the Poconos, up and back to the Poconos, and then out to like Harrisburg or something. So like he's been through it all with me. Like there's no chance I'd be like where I am today without him. He's my idol.
All right, cool. And what's your favorite thing about LaSalle?
I guess. Obviously, the communications here, the great people here, you know.
Beautiful answer.
Got to throw it out there. And also just like LaSalle's not too big of a school. It's actually a small school, and I didn't want to go to a big-time school, really.
Right.
Because, like, I feel like everyone at LaSalle is like a family. You're in, like, your own little community. You know everybody knows you. Like, there's no hate around campus. Like, you can go up and down your house, and everyone will just be happy and just having a good time. So
open arms.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good time at LaSalle, so it's more like a family situation and away from home.
I agree. So that's all the time we have here. This was John McCarthy. Thank you for coming through.
Of course.
We'll be back after this commercial break.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Welcome back. Now let's get into exploring headlines. Over fall break, Jason Plumoff of the men's soccer team garnered lots of recognition. In the games against Duquesne and St. Bonaventure, he scored 2 goals and tallied 2 assists. Plumoff was named the A10 Player of the Week for the week of October 13th, and he earned the same honor from Soccer 6 and was named to the College Soccer News' National Team of the Week.
That same week, Plumoff's teammate, goalie John McCarthy, was named the Soccer 6 Defender of the Week. In the games against Duquesne and St. Bonaventure, he tallied 10 saves and posted a .833 save percentage.
The women's team isn't to be forgotten, though. This past week, 2 Explorers gained A10 recognition. Junior Kelsey Haycock was named A10's Co-Player of the Week after scoring 3 incredible goals and recording 2 assists in the blowout against St. Joe's. Teammate, freshman Deja Davis, was named A10's Rookie of the Week after scoring her first goal in the game against St. Joe's that kick-started the 6-0 game.
Amidst their loss to the Drexel Dragons, there was one major highlight in this women's swim meet. Kelsey Jenkinson set a pool record at Drexel Pool in the 100-yard breaststroke with a time of 1 minute 4.9.
Do you miss the excitement of last year's basketball season? Well, LaSalle Athletics is selling Sweet, a 70-minute-long video yearbook with exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. The DVD is being sold just in time for the holidays for $20 on GoExplorers.com.
Speaking of men's basketball, individual game tickets and the St. Joe's 4-game pack will go on sale Monday, October 21st at 11 a.m. for this upcoming season. Tickets can be purchased online by visiting www.goexplorers.com/buy-tickets. The St. Joe's 4-pack is currently the only way to purchase tickets to the February 15th matchup between the Explorers and the Hawks at Gola Arena. It also includes contests against Rhode Island, Duquesne, and St. Louis, with prices ranging from $70 to $85. Also, make sure to get tickets for when LaSalle takes on Temple at the Palestra on January 9th. Hosted by ESPN Game Day, tickets range from $15 to $35.
Tariq Dern of the men's basketball team has been named to the Bob Cousy Award watch list for the 3rd straight season. The annual award is given to the best point guard in the NCAA. The top 20 of the nominees will be released in February. Last year, Trey Burke of Michigan took the title. After this commercial break, Gavin Lichtenstein will tell you which game to watch during the upcoming week in the Marquee matchup. We'll be right back.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
And welcome to our 6th edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Gavin Lichtenstein. On our last edition of Marquee Matchup, we talked about what the women's soccer team had to do to secure a win against VCU. Now we're going to discuss what the men's team has to do to earn the win, as this week's Marquee Matchup is between the VCU Rams and our LaSalle Explorers. The gentlemen head into Friday's A10 showdown in Richmond, Virginia, cruising on a 3-game win streak, with their latest victims being the St. Joseph Hawks, placing them above ground level at 6-5-2. The Rams, on the other hand, are coming off a double overtime tie to George Mason University. The Rams boast a 7-4-2 record for the year. Now let's look at which Explorers we here at SportsLine think will be driving force in the game and bring a win back to 20th and Alany. Senior goalkeeper John McCarthy has been a strong force this entire season. His leadership and constant communication is a great asset to the team that will be utilized on Friday's showdown in Richmond. Not to mention, McCarthy is one of the most decorated players on the team, with multiple Soccer 6 and A10 weekly honors thus far this season. He ranks 4th on the all-time saves list in LaSalle history and ranks 1st in career shutouts with 26. Another Explorer we see carrying the team is senior captain Jason Plumoff. The standout leads the team with 7 goals on the year, with 3 of them being in the last 3 games in A10 play. Not only is he a scoring threat, but Plumoff is a team player. He leads the team in assists with 8. The Explorers need to find a way to get him the ball down the field in order to challenge the Rams' defense. And now let's take a look at the keys to the game. The Rams are currently 4-0-1 in A10 play this season. The Explorers' defense has to play tight defense against the Ram forward, junior Carlton Belmar, who leads the team in goals at 4. But the forward also leads the team with most shots on goal at 15 and struggles with his carrying skills as he has no recorded assists for the year. Regardless, the biggest threat to the Explorers, LaSalle needs to be conscious that he is always being covered and kept out of position. It will be interesting to see how the Explorers play on the road as they have struggled away from McCarthy Field. Road games have set the Explorers back with 3 losses and 2 ties. Adding to the pressure is the fact that the last time the Rams and Explorers met, the Rams had the 2-1 advantage. But good news for the Explorers is Jason Johnson, who scored both goals last year against them, has since moved on from college soccer. The former A-10 Offensive Player of the Year now plays professional soccer for the Houston Dynamo, so he will not be taking the field on Friday. Well, that does it for this week's edition of Marquee Matchup. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to keep up with us on Twitter at SportsLine at LTV for updates throughout the week. Have a great day. Have a great week and on the field and off, and go Explorers.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Like Gavin said, if you're able to keep up with the game, definitely keep an eye on the men's soccer matchup against A-10 rival VCU. If men's soccer isn't your thing, here are some other games that are taking place this weekend. Be sure to keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by following us on Twitter at SportsLine LTV. We will be posting game updates, links to live stats, and sneak peeks into our upcoming show.
Also check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
We leave you now with footage from the ring ceremony on Friday night when the women's soccer team received their A-10 championship rings. For Bethany and our entire SportsLine team, I'm Cody Barr, and we'll see you at the game.